All right, we have a little bit of a long fact pattern here, but I think it's gonna be worth our time. So basically the question here is, can we search backpacks off of a shots fired call? All right, but there's more in here, okay? So this is a cop from California and says, all right, dispatch advises that there are about 4 to 6 male subjects shooting guns into a restroom and the water at a public beach near a campground. Dispatch provides subject descriptions and a vehicle possibly associated. The reporting party is anonymous and left the area after hearing the shots and calling 911. I arrive on scene with a cover officer and locate 6 subjects with the same clothing description and the same vehicle. A pat-down is conducted of all subjects for weapons on their person. No weapons are located on the subjects. No shell casings on the ground and no evidence of any shootings at all upon arrival. One subject is a gang member, but no active search terms or conditions. Side note, there are 3 backpacks located on the tailgate of their pickup truck, approximately 50 feet away. The bags are closed with zippers. Can you search the backpacks? I'm gonna leave it at that. Can you search the backpacks? And can you search other people on the beach located around the truck for weapons on their persons as well? Look, this is a very good question. There's a lot of moving parts in this, but let's take it step by step. A couple foundational, before I can answer this question, let's get some things out of the way. Number one is, let's talk about anonymous tips. Look, in reality, there's 2 types of anonymous tips that are relevant here. One is a person is truly anonymous. If a person is truly anonymous, like they're calling from a payphone type of situation or calling from some lobby phone at a hotel or borrowing somebody else's phone, if they're truly anonymous, then what you have to have before you can detain somebody is corroboration. Corroboration is another way of saying inside knowledge. Is the person giving you something about the situation that nobody else would really know unless they were on the inside, like they were connected somehow to the case? Giving a description about somebody and accusing them of criminal conduct in and of itself is not corroboration. I want you to know that. That idea that it's not corroboration comes from a case called Florida versus JL, where somebody simply called the police anonymously and said, hey, this guy has a gun, an illegal firearm. With nothing further, the police stopped him, searched him, and found that gun. The U.S. Supreme Court threw it out because that is not enough to detain people. If the Supreme Court upheld this, it would be a license to harass. Now, there's another type of anonymous tip, which is where the person calls 911 from their cell phone, usually, or their home phone. They report criminal activity, but they don't want to get involved. That is not a truly anonymous tip. Not under the law. They treat these ones differently because here's the way the court looks at it. When people call from their own phone and they lie, they can be charged with false report. And most people know that. Most people know that they don't want to take the risk of getting in trouble. So there's a presumption of reliability. This idea comes from a U.S. Supreme Court case called California versus Neverett. Basically, if you can find out who they are and get the subscriber information, then they're presumed reliable. Let's assume, for argument's sake, that that's this person. Because most likely it is. Most likely the officer has reason to believe that the caller called on their cell phone and we have a callback number, despite the fact that they don't want to provide your information. All right. Now the next question is, can we detain them? Well, yes. If we have a presumption of reliability because we have their subscriber number, and are they telling you things which are illegal, clearly shooting into a bathroom and the water, right, at a campground is illegal. So there's the 2-part, right? Why should we trust them? And what are they telling you that's illegal? So far, so good. We detain them. Can we pat them down? Yes, this is a crime. This is armed and dangerous, right? There's definitely reason to believe that they're armed and dangerous. They're reckless with their firearms. Okay, you find no firearms. Now, what about the backpacks? Now, I do want to pause for a second and recognize that while this is all going on, the officer is saying, hey, there's just no other evidence that they have been shooting on this beach. There's no shell casings. But I'd be interested to know this bathroom, right? Is there a bathroom around there, and is there holes in the wall and so forth? I would like to know that if there was a bathroom that was close, and there's absolutely no holes, and it's clear that it was not being shot at, I'd probably be out of here. But by then, with the case I have now, that's probably me, because now the whole thing is falling apart, and it sounds like somebody's just calling to harass these guys. All right, but let's say the bathroom issue is not, we don't know because it's kind of far away, or we're not gonna, my partner's not gonna leave me with 6 people, 4 to 6 people. Okay, but we're still, let's say we have a good detention so far. What about these backpacks? The backpacks are likely searchable under Michigan versus Long, right? When I say searchable, we can do a pat-down on these backpacks under Michigan versus Long. Do we have a reason to believe that these armed and dangerous people also have weapons in that vehicle? The answer is yes, right? If the investigation is continuing, we also are allowed to seize these firearms, these weapons, while we conduct our investigation. Hell, maybe it all works out. Maybe the guns are legal. Maybe they didn't, shoot anything. And California, I'm sure the guns will not be legal. I'm sure just saying the word gun could probably get me arrested right now in California, just saying the word, right? But now let's go towards the backpack. How are you supposed to pat down backpacks? Well, what the court would like to see you do is see if it's possible, feasible, to pat a backpack from the outside in, right? By compressing it. But oftentimes that's not possible. But I do want you to try that, and at least articulate in your report that patting down the backpack from the outside was not feasible due to the thickness of the backpack. I did it, and I did not feel it was not, there's too many objects in there, right? You couldn't discern what was in there. Then you can unzip the backpack and look for a weapon. So if this was my case, and I'm not totally satisfied yet, my suspicions have not been dispelled, that these guys have not been shooting, I would be doing a pat-down on those backpacks based on Michigan versus Long, and we go from there. If the weapon's in there, then we go from there. If there's no weapon, and they're not admitting to anything, then we're gonna go back in service and release these guys, all right? But that's what I have for you. So a lot of facts in that one, but I think it was worth talking about. If you like what I'm doing, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I hope I helped you get it right every time.